you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
We're in trances, going off to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed, you like fast life, you like to drive, get done.
What is going on, beautiful people? We are back with another episode of Morning Vibings, y'all. How y'all doing? Hope you're blessed and highly favored on today. Cupcake in the building already, throwing out all of the links and stuff. Yes, text Blaze to 833-793-2423 if you want to get direct notifications from Pyro Media Network when we go live, when we upload, and make sure that you are subscribed. If you haven't done so already, make sure you've liked, shared, and subscribed to this video, to this channel, whether you're watching it from the Pyro Media Network's YouTube or from Kwame Speaks Official. And if you're feeling so blessed on today, go ahead by what you're hearing or what you will hear. Go ahead and hit me up on Cash App at Kwame C86 or PayPal at paypal.me/K Corbett with two T's and the number 1. All right, y'all. All right, we got all the platitudes out the way. We good. Hey, Sister Michelle, how you doing, Queen? Almost Mrs. Live. Don't worry. You can always watch it on the replay. You know how it is. Looking at you like a Japanese cherry blossom. You know, that used to be one of my favorite scents from Bath and Body Works was Japanese cherry blossom. I love you, Pyromaniacs, and I love you, Pyromaniacs. Right on back. Hey, Michaela, how you doing, little sister? We love you. Thank you so much for joining. My peoples are in the building. We appreciate it. Yes. Good morning. How you doing on today? Oh, there's so much on the news. I was over there on King Jives' channel watching his stuff. I don't know if he's still on, but he was talking about the youth, and he was talking about a multitude of things, but he was talking about the youth, and that's what really Dr. Hull. Hey, how you doing, Dr. Hull? He's like, come on, good morning, Hugh Hefner. You know, you and this Hugh Hefner, this is not even my Hugh Hefner robe. I had to put the robe on because y'all told me that my shoulders were out. And then I put the robe on, and y'all still on it. This makes you look so very red velvet, like an expensive cake. I am expensive. That I am. I appreciate it. All right, but yeah. So we were over there. He was chopping it up with the rest of the Jives Nation. Shout out to Jives Nation, and just getting into some things on the interwebs, and he brought up some stuff, regarding children and what how he's an 80s baby, and just different things about how it was growing up with him. And there were certain things that I just remember. Y'all know I love Gen Z. I do. There's just something about Gen Z, about this particular generation, that I feel the kids are going to be all right. For the majority of them, the kids are going to be all right. But there are those that make me concerned. But while we worried about these young Gen Zs, we need to worry about some of these adults that are in public office. That's what we need to worry about, or trying to be in public office, and they're whole criminals. And you want to vote these people in? What's wrong with you? What are you going through? Yeah, it's a mess. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing okay today. I think it's important to just be okay with being okay. Everybody wants to, speaking of being okay, let me put this away for a second. First of all, let me put my essence on before my skin dries up like, a whole thing. But I I went on. I really try not to fall into peer pressure. I really I really try not to. But literally, them ads on TikTok, y'all, it's too much. If y'all are on TikTok, those who are on TikTok, you understand what I'm talking about. And I caved. I caved, and I got one of their products. Well, it was not their product, but there was a product on there that's been like heavily like. And you may or may not have seen it. I don't know, but I got the Shadow Work Journal, and it's a guide to integrate and transcend your shadows. It's a whole self help thing. I started it last night. It's actually really good. It's a lot of the stuff that I have been learning in therapy, but it's more of a it's really good actually. I'm a little shocked, but a lot of the stuff they just kind of call certain things like therapists have like their lingo. TikTok made you buy. Yes, TikTok made you buy. This new generation is very scary. They are hypersensitive. It is like they go ballistic at any minute. I don't agree with that, Michelle. That may be your experience, and I'm sorry you've had that, but I don't agree with that at all. I feel like um, a lot of adults like boomers and because Gen Z is kind of like, and even millennials, younger millennials are bringing up things like therapy and mental health awareness and all that stuff, whatever. And a lot of that stuff is triggering older adults because they never dealt with that, and older generations they never dealt with those things. And so, and I get it, different generations have to go through different things. Like at the time they didn't have your generation and even boomers didn't have time to sit there and worry about what was going on with their mental psyche because they had to kind of be constantly in survival mode. So I get it, I totally understand, but at the same time I don't I think it's important that you do focus on your mental health because you're not going to be good to anybody, and it's just going to be a cycle of craziness. And I just don't want to go through my life. I don't want to grow old being bitter and unhinged and um unstable. Like it doesn't matter how much money I have. Like I know very wealthy people who are extremely upset or not upset, unhappy because they haven't dealt with what they need to deal with. And it's a holistic thing. Like you need to. It's not just therapy. You need to have God in your life in whatever form you feel like you need to have it. And I know for me, Jesus is the way and the light and the truth for me. But some people may see that in a different way. You have to have some type of spirituality. That's here nor there. Um, and I'm not just saying any old type of spirituality. Some people be saying that they hear from God and they don't. Because if you were listening to God, you wouldn't be doing half of the stuff you doing, girl. You wouldn't be sleeping with half the choir. Okay, you wouldn't be trying to bring down a whole community telling them that they're going to hell. But that's a whole nother conversation. I love mental health speak shows. It should have been done long ago and not in church. We have Black doctors now, so it is great. Yeah, but I do think it should have been talked about in church as well. I think mental health should be talked about in church because it's not talked about at all. Um, we're not. Let me not say at all because I do think that some churches are working on it and have been trying to make a change. I think this whole generalizing thing, like everybody, the entire generation, everybody, a lot of that is like all churches. Like that's not fair. Um, that's not fair. Uh, all black people, all white people, all teenagers, all I don't think that's fair. But it is what it is. Um, but yeah, yeah. So I got this book. It's really good. I'm still reading it. Another book that I'm reading. Well, this is more of a journal. It's kind of like a workbook. But a book that I'm actually reading slash listening to because I usually when I get a book, I like to if it doesn't have an audio book, it's kind of hard for me to kind of stick with it. And the reason why is because I like to read it while I'm listening to it. I feel like it's just more ways to kind of the um, intake the information. Because I'm looking at it, I'm listening to it, and sometimes I'm I don't know. That's just me. I retain information better when I do it that way. But this book is crazy. The 48 Laws of Power. It is. It's a lot. It's a lot. Um, it is a lot. It's really challenging. My my beliefs in how to deal with people. It's challenging uh, my business prowess and my management skills, but it's really, 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 really good. Um, and I just started it, so I'm sure that there's more to go. But from what I've read so far, baby, whew, Dr. Holt says, "Hell, church is most of the cost in some folks' mental health." But that's another time. Listen, Dr. Hall, that's another conversation that I don't think people are ready for. Michelle says some ministers are not equipped to do mental health lectures, is what I was saying. I need a minister with some college education. You know, I completely agree with you, Michelle. I feel like a lot of times people knock people with degrees, or people knock people with, and I get it. There's some things that can't be, you can't get from a degree. You have to get experience on it. But I really, it really frustrates me when people knock people who are going to school, or or have a degree, or what have you, because they earn it, and that degree is solidifying their knowledge and expertise in something. I do think that you need to have wisdom, which comes with experience, which comes with other things, and that can't be taught. You sometimes running a company or running a business, you can't teach that. You can teach the premises of it, the basic premises of it, but you have to experience on your own. You have to understand the stresses of an entrepreneur. You have to understand the like that's when I talk to people who are real entrepreneurs, and I have conversations. Like I did I and it was so, at the time it was so needed rather, with Denisha on Kwame Speaks. I did a interview with her, with Denisha Jeter. I really needed to have that conversation with her because she got it. She understands it. And not to say that the other royal ones that have been on the show don't understand it, but at that time, at that moment, it was like God was like, "Hey, girl, we need to get somebody in here so you don't feel alone." It can be really frustrating sometimes when you're running a business and you talk to people, and you're pouring out to your clients, or you're pouring out to um, to the world, and you don't sometimes get that back. So it was kind of like therapy for both of us. We were talking about it after the show. I remember having a conversation with her, and we were talking about it after the show, and she was just like, "I really needed to have that conversation. I really need to talk to you." And I was like, "Yeah, same. I needed to have a conversation with you, and I needed to have that powwow with you, because sometimes people don't get it. It's kind of like if you're like an educator, like Dr. Holt. He's an educator. If he needs to talk to people sometimes who is in his position, or in his industry, because you don't understand. We can be supportive. We can say, "Yeah, Dr. Holt, you're doing a great job. Keep going, blah blah, all the stuff, whatever." And that's great. He needs that, but he needs to also talk to um, other people in his industry to kind of help him uh, feel connected, feel that fellowship. Um, Dr. Holt says, your best lessons are not in the textbook. Most of the advice I got from older, seasoned folks in the neighborhood growing up, and seasoned family members who didn't go to college, the school of life. Yes, absolutely. And I think for me, I learned a lot from mentors that God blessed me throughout my life. And I had more degrees than they, by the time I talked to them, I had uh, uh, more education at that time than they did. And but they have more experience. They have way more experience. They were way older than I was. But it's definitely, um, wisdom is definitely, it. But I think also the goal of a real mentor is that the mentor wants you to surpass them. The mentor wants you to, and this is something that my parents told me one time. Is like, we want you to do better than we did. That's why we work so hard now, so that way you have the opportunities, and the wherewithal to move forward and do better than they did. If your parents or your mentor doesn't want you to do, because some people just they want to be in a position of like power, and they just want to, just kind of talk to you in a way where they think they know it all. And that's not healthy. And it's not beneficial to you. You're not benefiting from that. Hey, over there on Twitch, thank you for joining. Let's see what y'all are saying. Hey, Inspire, how you doing, Queen? Appreciate you. Dr. Ho says, honey, listen, when I first started teaching right out of college, it was for those veteran teachers, baby. I probably would have snapped on them kids. It was not for those veteran teachers. Listen, Dr. Ho, I learned how to have compassion from my mama, and that can't be taught in a class. Yeah, you can't. You some things just can't be taught. You have to experience it, and you have to hear it from somebody that's passing it down onto you. Yeah, come on, wisdom up in this morning. I need to order some more of it. This has been I've really enjoyed this. It's called Sunday Morning Antioxidant Oil Serum. It has camellia oil in it, which is really good for what do you call it? It's really good for oh my god, am I missing? Am I confusing two of the oils? I think I want to say it's good for hydration and color correction, like hyperpigmentation. I could be wrong. Let me do some research, and I don't want to lie. But yeah, I'm almost out of it. I've been using it. It's really, really good. And I try to put it on right before I put on my hyaluronic acid because it does have an oil in it. And so oils tend to be a little bit thicker than other serums. But it goes on really, really well. So I enjoy it. Sunday morning, it's Tuesday. I know, right? Isn't it crazy? The best. Morning with my hyaluronic acid now. But yeah, I've unique color correction. Okay. Yeah, so listen, even though I'm light skinned, I still have I like now that my skin, like you can see sometimes my skin will it doesn't get red because I don't have rosacea, but if I rub too hard, when I like especially over here around my beard, or even under my you can't see it too much now because it's definitely gotten a hell of a lot better. Thank you so much to Fenty and the Watch Your Tone. This is a packed full of niacinamide. Let me go ahead and fix this. There we go. It's packed full of niacinamide. And niacinamide is so good for just your pores and clearing. If you have oily skin, niacinamide is great. But this is like a kind of like a spot treatment. But I use it right under here because that's where I get a lot of discoloration because of shaving. Here you go, showing you that you're a mess, but because of shaving, and so I for a while had discoloration here, but now it's becoming even tone. Thank you, Jesus. And anytime I have like discoloration or any type of what do you call it, right here on the edges, because I kind of use a straight razor on those. I use the spot correction there. It's really, really good. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see, fancy. It's 99 cents of the. What is color correction? It sounds suspect to me. I'm dark and I need no correction. No. That's not what it is. So like when you have even in, and happens in all shades. So it's not really that deep. But when you have color correction, is really a makeup term. So like if you have like dark spots or if you have uneven skin tone, so like uneven skin tone means like you have dark spots or you have light spots or you have your skin tone is not even. You may have you may have different spots all over that may be a little lighter, a little darker, and so you may have hyperpigmentation and things of that nature. So color correction is really more of a makeup term, and so it's basically to correct the color to make it all one even tone, which is why you see people like Jackie Aina or where a lot of makeup artists, though you'll see them using different tones of what is it, concealer, to kind of work on the color correction, to kind of when they're done and they put on the foundation and they do their blending and all that stuff, whatever, and their what do you call it, contouring, they will it looks all even. Now I don't use makeup unless I'm doing like a photo shoot, and even then I don't use heavy makeup. It's just really kind of just to kind of keep a nice, photogenic, so I can do less editing. But and really now I don't really need to use makeup to be quite honest with you. But color correction is just basically like just kind of having an even skin tone. So it's not anything. I will be a black lady of my next life. Also, I am good for that kid. Yeah, it's not anything racist or colorist if you're thinking that. But that's a good question because I know some people who don't know about skincare or may not be into the makeup world may not understand that, and so I know it can sound a certain way. Like you could have a say God forbid something happened, you have a scratch on your face. That would be a color correction. If it's healing, you scabbed up or whatever, and it's like not even skin tone. That makes any sense. So Michelle, with my light skin undertones, I have a lot of red undertones. Yes. So to avoid looking orange, I'll sometimes use a green concealer to cancel out the red and even my. You better come through, and she would know. Like I said, color correction is more of a makeup term. It's less to do with skincare and more to do with makeup, but I use it a lot of times. You need color correction. Okay, I don't need color correction actually. I really don't. Um, you're a mess. If you look at some of the pics Kwame posts of me, some of them look orange. Yeah, yeah. And a lot of that's because she may have warmer, like she said, she has red undertones. I also have red undertones, like I tend to, or not warmer undertones. So, like when I was in Georgia, people, if I show you guys some of the pictures when I was in the military, when I was at Fort Gordon, because I was under the sun so much, I looked very, very. When I tan really, really fast and easily. That's why I try to stay out the sun. And it's not because I don't like being darker. It's just I'm also very cognizant of skin cancer, so I don't want to be in the sun too much because a lot of wrinkles and a lot of your what do you call it? Your skin barrier is damaged by the sun. So yeah, child, you have clear undertones. You can't. You're so stupid. But yeah. So I don't know. Anyway, what were we talking about? I feel like I lost what we were talking about. Anywho, how are y'all doing out there? Are you guys doing okay? Are you feeling blessed? Let's see. Oh, that's what we're doing. I forgot to even talk about what we're meditating on today. Let's see what we're meditating on. What we're meditating on is sure, Jan. Sure, Jan. If you guys ever watched the Brady Bunch, you know that there was a thing where it was just kind of like sure, Jan. And sometimes you'll like for those who know me or talk to me on a regular basis, I'll if I don't believe what they say, I'm like, sure, Jan. Okay. Learn to be okay with saying okay, and I think also as you continue to grow and mature, I think it's important to just be like, okay. Because there's nothing that I think when we get into a level of repetition, it's just kind of like, okay, we're just repeating the same thing over and over again. And it's just like, okay. I really can't. I can't. It's like, okay, girl. But I want one thing that I definitely want to stress, and I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I refuse, and I hope you guys do the same, especially my pyromaniacs. Pyromaniacs is really, I call you sis. I hope Michelle hearing that she about that type of. I know that's right. You're hearing me right now in the spirit. Y'all are a mess. Um, I think it's important to just make sure that you don't ever get silenced. Part of power and control, and something that I've read in this book, in the beginning stage of the book. Really, guys, this is a really good book. It's thick, so I know this is gonna be a while before I finish this. But one of the things that I am seeing and noticing about myself, even in the work that I'm doing with my therapist, is I don't like it when I feel restrained. Like even when I'm like, there was a conversation I was having with my therapist a few weeks ago, and he brought me back to a conversation that I was having with a friend, and a memory that I had where, let me move this up, where I'm just like, I was playing with an ex, like we were kind of play fighting, and that's why I don't play fight anymore, because I get serious, because it's like, this is not a joke. You won't silence me, Lee, where I will show you forever, forever, forever. Um, but there was a time I was playing with my ex, and he restrained me. Now, after I got, I told him to stop. He stopped, but I didn't like that feeling, and we kind of did stuff later. But anyway, I at that time I didn't like feeling like I couldn't get out, and I always felt he brought me back to like why we deep dived into that. We did work on that. Why I don't like feeling cornered or feeling like uh, restrained or uh, all of that jazz. And I think it's because people feel like I don't even know how to explain that. I think it's because and it's less to do with what people are thinking about me and more to do with me not being able to express myself. I think that's one of the reasons why I really pushed my team to work on a Patreon, because I wanted to just have a space to just kind of not worry about who's watching and and drama and all stuff, because oftentimes you don't always get a safe space. I am a firm believer, even in conversations on like Real Housewives or any of the other shows, like even on with the show that I do with Dominic with the Unusual Mavericks. Any shows, our opinions are subject to criticism, and that's totally fine, but I wanted to have a space where it was just kind of like an even safer space, where it's just kind of like my pyromaniacs, me and unhinged, unfiltered, not feeling like and a space where I can kind of get closer to my pyromaniacs and not really worry about like everybody else. And so it was nice to kind of have that space, and I think that has been a challenge for me, because oftentimes people test you. Oftentimes people will try to restrain you, and kind of try to, and even if it's not just people, just society in and of itself, they don't like what you're saying. You have to like Beyonce, you have to like what? Sorry, I got a text. Yeah. You have to like Elder Kwame, you said something that many people look over about gaming. Maybe I will share it later. What do you mean? Can you break that down a little bit more, Michelle? What did I say? I'm going on like tangents. I apologize if I missed what I said. But yeah, many people I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So I just want I think like society, if you have to like Beyonce, you have to like Rihanna, you have to like Oprah. You can't be angry at Beyonce. You can't say this, whatever. I'm a part of the Beehive, but there's certain things that I may not like about what's going on with that Beyonce does or says or sings or whatever. There may be an outfit that she wears that I don't like. Elder Kwame, it was good. It was insightful, not bad. I love you and say thank you, Sister Michelle. Appreciate you. But yeah, there may be something that I don't. I think having a safe space to just say whatever you want without constant critique is needed for everyone. Which is why I always stress, therapy for people, not because that you may be crazy, just because some of you are, but it is what it is. We all have a little cray in us. But for the most part, having a safe space for you to kind of just be unapologetically you and just saying what you want to say to someone that you pay to kind of help um, navigate you mentally is important. So I just I forgot to get. Hold on one second, y'all. All right. Um, I think it's important to just have those safe spaces, and sometimes you just have to be okay with just saying okay. Like, okay, girl, so and so said just about you. Okay, really, like it's really okay. It's going to be okay. I think because I Jive said something earlier that really, really, really hit me on his live earlier. He said, he spent a lot of time beefing with people, um, and it took bit away from his business. And I realized even just in this past week, a couple of weeks of me just focusing on my clients and me focusing on my brand and things, like I caught up on so much stuff that I was backed up on because I was like dealing with mess. And I also realized that it's really not that deep. It's really not. And so I'm going to continue to say it because at the end of the day, people are going to say what they're going to say, people are going to do what they're going to do, and it doesn't matter. You could sit there and talk about fairy farts, and guess what? Figured Tracy is gonna still, do a live or send people over or stalk your Patreon. Like it's going to happen whether you say something or not. So in the words of John Mayer, say what you need to say. Because it's your platform. Because that's what I was trying to circle back to. Yes. Don't allow people to silence you, because you control your brand, your platforms, your spaces, whatever, your well-being. You control all of that. And so, silencing yourself is just not, that's what they want you to do. They want you to not be in spaces so they don't have to, quote unquote, see you anymore. But you're going to see me. Oh, I have bought y'all. I can't even tell you the name of the brand. I got a solution for it, but I won't express it. Stop that, dog. Stop it. I bought this mushroom coffee, and I think Cupcake got the same brand that I did because we talked about it. But it's so good. But I bought this vegan creamer. It's almond milk instead of being it being dairy, and I just put a little bit of it in it. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, it tastes like a latte. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got for y'all. I got candles to make. I got inventory to work on. I have what else? Oh, and being back in my planner, I was not in my planner all month last month, and I felt horrible. I was talking to one of my planner girls in the planning community. They call them planner babes, and she had messaged me. She was like, "Hey, I haven't seen you in our planning group for a while," and I said, "Girl." She's one of them. It's fine. I said, "Girl, it's been a month." So I have been in my planner, and it really feels so good to stay on top of everything. It really feels like I've gotten back to Kwame, because the focus was so off. It was so off, and it was so unnecessarily off. It really was. Shout out to all of those who have been subscribing to Pyro Media Network. Thank you so much. We're almost at 1,000. And shout out to all those that have been following me on TikTok. I'm almost at 12,000, y'all. My God. When you focus on what you need to focus on, you grow. I need to finish up this beard. But anywho, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Y'all be blessed. I think, did I show you everything I need to show you guys? I don't have any new stuff that came in. No. Nope. I don't have any new stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, Did I show you guys this? Yes, it's almost gone though. But this is by what's her name? What is her name? Is it Charlotte? Charlotte Tilbury. This is a setting spray. I love this airbrush flawless setting spray. It's really, really good. You guys remember I told you guys one of the tricks that I do is when I put on my skincare, especially my sunscreen, I will put on setting spray to hold everything. And so when it gets hot or when I get sweaty, it doesn't run into my eyes, and it keeps everything in place. I use setting spray. I'm using this one right now because this is just kind of like, I don't need a crazy one. But that Charlotte Tilbury one, wow. And for those who are who use makeup, I've heard that it does wonders on for makeup. It really holds everything together. So, but anyway, I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, and blessed day. Stay motivated. Stay focused. Really, stay focused on everything that you guys have going on. I hope that your day is blessed. I hope that you gained something from this. And if you did, feel free to, drop an offering. Any little thing, I don't want to say little because I think everything, you've taken the time out, whether it be $1, 50 cents, $5, $10, or $100. It really it blesses me and blesses my heart. So feel free to send the Cash App at KwameC86 or to PayPal, paypal.me/Kwame, /K Corbett with 2 T's, 1. Yeah. Y'all have a blessed day. I will see you guys tonight. Oh, y'all, I didn't do a lot of shows, or excuse me, a lot of pop culture stuff this morning because we're going to have a packed show on tonight. So definitely check it out. If you again text Blaze to 833-793-2423 to know when we go, to get a notification directly from us when we go live or when we upload. And yeah, definitely check out Pyro Power Hour tonight, reality TV edition. Kyrie and I will be joined by the beautiful Miss Lisa and the handsome Just Dominic. And so we'll see you guys on tonight. It's gonna be a Black Alicious panel. So y'all stay blessed. I love you guys. Yeah, that's all I got. Today's a great day to have a great day. So create one. Peace out.
What if we run out of time and second chances, empty-handed? I wanna know, would you love me better if I go? I'm not home. I wanna know, can we trust this that's about to let us know? I'd go.